Hi everyone. In this video, we'll see how to use the video annotation application ELAN to watch and analyze videos. So here I have a video already opened in ELAN, and we can see that the video is in this portion of the screen on the left. There are some adjustment sliders over to the right. Below is a waveform that represents the audio signal. And below that is a series of what are called tiers on which we can make individual annotations. So we can begin by playing the video clip with the play button.
Kamala Harris. Is that good debate?
Have fun.
Thank you.
And of course we can stop it again by pressing the same button. We can use the slider down at the bottom of the window to move back through the file. And there are various different play controls that ELAN has that an ordinary video application might not have. So for example, you can click and drag across a selection of the video, clicking and dragging across the waveform. And then there's a play selection button.
Kamala Harris.
That just plays the part that you've selected.
Kamala Harris.
That's extremely useful for repeated viewing and close analysis. There are also buttons that allow for frame-by-frame movement, which is also useful. You can move backwards frame by frame. But I find what is most convenient is using the mouse to click and drag across the video and to scrub very slowly depending on how fast you move the mouse. That is my preferred method. So we can also see over to the right, we can adjust the volume. So right now it's at 100%, but we could drop it down to say 0. And we can also then adjust the rate of play. So we could bring that down to say 50%. Now, if we play the selection, we'll be able to watch it in slow motion. If we wanted to see that selection repeatedly, we could click this button called loop mode, and it would repeat that selection again and again. This could be useful, for example, in a data session if you want to have the video playing in the background while people are collecting their thoughts and writing their notes about a piece of data. ELAN also allows you to zoom in on the data in various ways. So one way is to zoom in on the video. So if you right-click on the video, you can go to the zoom option and choose, for example, 200%. Now this video isn't especially high resolution, so it doesn't look very crisp, but if you're working with a high resolution video, this can look extremely good. So now if we play, we can see this bit up close.
Kamala Harris.
We can also scrub through it if we wanted to see, for example, the relationship between her hand movement and her speech very carefully. So we can zoom back out again. Another way to zoom is on the waveform. So if we right-click on the waveform, there's something called vertical zoom. Now I've already zoomed this to 500% because the audio signal is fairly quiet in this portion of the recording. So if we move it back down to 100%, you can see that we don't get as much visual information from the waveform. So if you have a waveform like this, doing vertical zoom can be very, very helpful. The final way to zoom is by using the slider in the bottom right-hand corner. This zooms the size of the annotations, or how many annotations you can see on the screen at any one time. And this is useful if you need to read the annotations or if you want to get more or less on your screen. This is also how you can zoom in to see very fine details in the waveform if, for example, you are adjusting annotations. Now, the last thing to know about ELAN is that you can adjust elements of the windows. So by clicking this button right here, this little handle allows you to make the video smaller or larger. And there's a similar handle here for the waveform. You can make it smaller or larger. And of course, the window can be made bigger or smaller depending on how you position it using the bottom right-hand corner. You do have to be sort of careful because ELAN will let you do some strange things like this, which is not going to be very helpful for you. So do keep in mind that the window positioning can get a bit wonky in ELAN. And a pro tip, if it ever gets really bad, you can delete the preferences file and everything will go back to the default. So that is how you can use ELAN to analyze and watch videos if you're doing multimodal conversation analysis.